everybody on the call today. We got a great Jan Olson is laughing at me. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We got a great call. As you know, this young man hails from the Southern California area. He's a leader. He is a health person. He is a coach. He is a sage. I could go far as saying that. He also had one of the best promotions I've ever seen at a convention. Number 2 was Martin Cerullo, but his number 1 with Mr. Les Brown, who's having his birthday coming up next week. Matter of fact, Les Brown's birthday is next week. Yeah, that's right. He'll be 79. Anyway, not only that, but he had Martin Sapp sing and brought everybody to their knees and crying. Man, what a wonderful gentleman this guy is. He's got a great following around the world. He's known internationally. He hangs out at the Nectar Island. That's right, Nectar Island with the man, the myth, the billionaire himself. That's right. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Richard Branson. And without further ado, we're so blessed to have him every Friday in our call. The one and only, the great Mr. Byron Nelson.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. I might have to disappear and move my vehicle. I'm in a spot I should be parked at. Go ahead. You look great, sir. You look wonderful.
Man, I feel wonderful. I really do.
Sir.
I feel wonderful.
Hey, what are you doing tonight about 6 o'clock? Maybe you host a happy hour tonight if you're not busy.
I'll definitely toast a drink with you at happy hour.
All right. Good deal.
For us, it's every hour is happy hour.
The troops are ready. The troops are waiting, sir. The troops are waiting.
Oh man, where do we get started?
So forgive me if I go off here and put my face. Gotta run and move my car.
No, go handle your business. I really wanted to open it up for you guys to see whatever challenges you guys may have. It's amazing how many times people get on, and it's like one of the things we talk about consistently is bringing new people to the table, or bringing, and it's it's so. The only dynamic I really want to bring is the simplicity of this business of being able to build it. And what I mean by that is if you truly are just who you're looking for, they come from everywhere. It's not that difficult to build the business. I'll say that again. If you are becoming and you're working on yourself to become the person you're looking for, they find you. If you're out there looking for people, it eludes you. It's kind of like money. It's like one of the oldest cliches in the world is if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in plain sight. It's the truest statement ever, right? And so what we're looking for is diamonds. We're looking for people that can actually, run with us and take over a business and partner with us, join arms, lock arms. And in making a new list, as I've done, to be able to really, it's a beautiful thing when your downline calls you and curses you out because your picture isn't on the top, position for recognition. And I figure like I just did it a couple of months ago. I didn't know it was like last year, and they changed the entire format, and so we keep bouncing between number 2 and number 4. I think right number is 6, and it'll go back up to number 4, and it'll go back up to number 2. And when I finish, by the time March is, we'll actually have 4 positions in the top. Actually, we'll have at least 4 positions in the top 10 for RVP. We'll have at least 3 in SVP, and we'll have at least 5 in RD. Right now, we have the number 1 position in RD, number 2 position in RD, and I think number 5. I got to go back and look at the charts. Why am I sharing this with you? Because from the time I came into the business, my goal was the only way to be able to have a barometer to measure my success was to know that I was in competition with the top leaders, the top 10. And the beautiful thing about the competition of the people in the business, in our business, is what you're competing against or what you're competing for versus it sounding like a struggle or a tug of war or a fight is how many people can you bless? There's no better game than to go out there and know that you're on a chart to become number 1 based on how many people you bless. Is that making sense? Is anybody understanding the conversation? Right. So it's like in that conversation lives, it's just an amazing feeling. It's like it's finding the people who want to be blessed. First and foremost, help somebody who wants to be blessed. That would be number 1. And then number 2 right behind that is somebody who wants to work because everybody wants to be blessed. But to find people who want to be blessed and find the people who want to work. And then I would say number 3, find the people who are embracing failure, who really don't mind looking bad. It's like, I love working with people. It's like, I messed up again today. I messed up again today. I messed up again today. Okay, I messed this up. I talked to 4 people, nobody got in. I talked to 10 people, nobody got in. Find people who are going to chart their success based on their failures, not talk about what they can't do and what they, and having a pity party or playing the victim, the victim's role of I'm trying, I'm doing my best, and it's just not. It's really, that conversation in itself comes down to an attitude, because the attitude is, if you're running track, it's like you get out of the blocks, you ran it in, you ran a a quarter mile in 20 seconds. All of a sudden you're running it in 18. All of a sudden you're running it in 16. All of a sudden you're running it in 16. The next day you go out, you run it in 17. It's like, oh my God, I ate right before I ran. So I'm a little sluggish, and then, the next day it's like, well, I didn't stretch, and you're back at 18. Then it's like, okay, I'm going to blow this out this day. And now all of a sudden you're down at 14. And for some reason you can't get past that 14. And then somebody tells you how to be able to actually kick and put your feet in the blocks and how to get out quicker, which gets you a quarter of a second. Not a person's like, well, how do I put my feet in the blocks? And well, when is the next race? And well, where's the track at? And well, I've been looking, for these cleats and the right shoes. And that's 95% of the population. It's not people who are actually on the track running, And so that's what I said even last week, is finding people who are looking to be held accountable for their work and really creating what I call that, it's a collision for success, where you're colliding with somebody. It doesn't even have to be your upline, but you find somebody like Julian, or you find somebody like Jocelyn, or you find somebody like Al, and you get in the way of somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Maybe you're too close to your upline. Maybe you don't like your upline. Maybe you're like Julian, you don't have an upline. It doesn't really matter. That's and you can write this down. You either make excuses or reasons, but whatever your excuse is, it really should become your reason, because I can promise you, every excuse that a person gives me, 99% of it is the reason they got in the business. Well, I don't have the time to work the business. That's why you got in. I don't have the money to work the business. That's why you got in. You hear people say, well, my spouse is holding me back. Why'd you marry him? Leave him, shit. It's like, I want to be with somebody who's going to hold me back. I want somebody who's going to hold me up. You know what I'm saying? So all these things come into play and then, I've been just identifying why people are challenged. And it's mostly because people are scatterbrained. They're trying to do too many things at one time. You really need to learn how to prioritize. I have a time for my investments. I have a time for my workout. I have my time for my prayer. It starts in the morning. I do at least 7 prayers a day. I have a time for just still time, isolated time. I have a time for my reading. I have a time for being able to just be a builder within my own business here. I have a time to be able to have touch points with the people that are on the court and on the track, and then really just developing those relationships. But that then goes into the farmer's mentality, also remembering that it's easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. So it's like, and everybody's not necessarily dead. Some people are just dormant. Some people have a sleeping giant, and you just need to water them accordingly, and so. And what I mean by that is, like, you can't throw a big bucket of water on them and think they're going to grow. And if you don't give them any water, they're going to die, because every plant, every seed needs attention, but it's really paying attention to who's plugging into the calls and making sure you're helping people race at their committed pace, not at your committed pace. Let me say that again. Too many people are trying to get people to run at their pace. This conversation started last week with Maya. It's like, well, how do I get people to run faster? When do I leave them alone? When do I help this person? When do I give up on this person? And the reality of that conversation for each one of you to understand is your trajectory and perspective, meaning we're all looking at a screen. Now, one person's looking to the left, maybe you see Al Thomas, maybe you see Julian, maybe you see Cardell. We're all looking, but we see the same screen, but we don't see the same thing, because we're looking at something differently when we're looking at the screen. We're looking at someone, somebody else may be on the second page, third page. I yelled at my team this last week, and I was just like, you don't need to be on the call if you can't get on with your picture. See, if we wanted a one-on-one training with me, I don't think there's one time. Now, there are some occasions, if for women in the morning, if your hair isn't done, or if you're inappropriate and you just walk around in a bra and some underwear, we don't want to see all that. Same thing for men. We don't want to see you walk around with boxers and your stomach all out, but the thing about it is, here's what I am going to share. this is a business hour. Like, unless there's not, I think you can count, really count how many times you've seen me get on a screen. There's been a few, but I've been doing this for 25 years. But you can pretty much count how many times I've got on the screen and you can't see me. I can count how many times Julian's been on screen, I can't see him. I can count the times Al Thomas has been on, you can't see him. I don't understand in a training, right, where you have 70% of people hiding behind a screen. Because see, if we were to come to your house and you wanted a one-on-one training, I'd have to look you in your eyes. That's part of, what this does is it actually gives people, it plays into their personality, or it plays into the fact that they aren't really committed to this business, because it just doesn't make any sense when it's interactive. It's kind of, to me, I'm just sharing, and I don't want people to get off the screen. If whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I'm just sharing with you the perspective and perception that you give a leader. Because I've yelled at my team members. I mean, everybody will tell you. Everyone that's on my squad will tell you. Everybody that's in here will tell you. If I call you and my screen is up, I think even you, 99% of the time, you can see me. I'm like, get the hell off of take that screen off, or I'll call you later. Otherwise, we're just on a phone call and I'll give you 2 seconds, because this gives an extra layer or added layer for failure of interaction. I want to be able to see Julian nodding his head. Yes, I get it. I want to be able to see the Sway and Maya got their notes and they're writing it out. If you aren't interacting with me here, no wonder you're failing in the business. What are you doing with your prospects? What it means is you aren't even doing Zooms with your prospects because you don't know how to do them. I want you to imagine you're talking to somebody about a serious situation. Maybe it's a family, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's you're getting mentorship from Mr. Al Thomas, maybe you're talking to Mr. Greg Provenzano, and you're face to face with him like I am right now. And the whole time you're talking to him, let's just say it's Mr. Greg Provenzano, he's talking to you right now, and you're like, and he's talking to you. That's what it's like to have a screen up. I want you to imagine you're talking to somebody, and they're like, yeah, uh-huh. You done? Oh, what did you say again? Because there's all you could be doing is multitasking. It'll be different if it was once in a while. But for most of you on here, it's 99% of the time. I can promise you that most of the people that have their screen up, I've never seen you. I don't even know what you look like. Except for your beautiful picture you put up. But that's the difference of a person that's making 6 figures and 7 figures and a person that's making 6 cents and still complaining because you aren't giving undivided attention and focus so that we can interact and ask you a question or be engaged in our conversation and know that we're talking into your heart as opposed to talking at you, and feel like we're wasting our time every week. When Mr. Al Thomas doesn't have to do this, I damn sure don't have to do this. But it's like we're fighting to help. Does that make sense? And I'm talking on both sides of the fence, as you should be fighting to help somebody. Who are you engaging with? Who are you having a powerful relationship with that you're going into? Because that's the problem with technology today. It's too easy to hide. You already had an excuse when you didn't have technology. You weren't doing jack. But when you're doing something for an hour, a training an hour a week, and you got 3, Ms. Al Thomas got 3 a week, that's 3 hours a week to go to work and show up and give 100% of undivided attention. But the ones that are actually doing it have been, like Belinda and several other people, I know Pat, I know when the people are on the court, they're like engaged. They're like, I got a testimonial. Hey, let me tell you what happened. I know when Jebri is in, he's putting this whole thing together and still working this business and got over 100 customers in each of his lines. Personal. The people that are engaged. How come it's not that the work is hard. It's not that you don't understand how to do the work. It's not that there's nuances in this business that you need to learn. Why don't we just start? Because if you work, you ain't got to figure out what you're doing wrong. You're going to figure it out quickly. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I know what I did. I know what I didn't do. Okay, this is what I need help on. And when you're on the court, as many people, you know, whether sharing, it doesn't matter who it is, it's like they're going to ask questions. It's like, I don't know what y'all doing, but I got a couple of questions. Like, I talked to 20 people this week and nobody got in the business. What the hell am I saying wrong? What's my posture? What am I saying? What am I, you know, I'm doing, I know I'm doing something wrong because I'm not getting results. So if I'm going to sit on the phone with 200 people and nobody got no questions, let me be the only person that continues. I'm sorry, I got another question. I'm sorry, I got another question. I want to be the loudest. If all I got to do, I would utilize this portal as my accountability. When you got 3, 4 RVPs and SVPs on a call at your beckoning call and nobody else wants to participate, they should just be sitting in your stands and you should be coming to the call every time Ms. Al Thomas has this call, at least 3 times a week that I know of, and be like, I got another question. You should be the person that we're like, I know you're going to get tired of me asking questions, but I'm on the court and this is what happened. I just got another AT&T customer and this didn't go through. Or, you know, I'm attempting to be able to get that. I'm dripping on people and I'm sending them thank you cards, or I'm actually doing this, and this, and it hasn't been effective. And maybe it's my posture. Can I role play with you? This is what I'm saying in a peak. I don't want to take a lot of time, but you know, I reached out to 10 people and this is exactly what I said in 30 seconds or less. I would obsessively take ownership of this portal and make every vice president work for me, and be like, screw everybody else. It's like, yeah, because literally the reason why I'm layering it like this, because whenever I do open it up, literally it's like crickets. Anybody got any questions? I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Maybe they'll hear me. Maybe they'll see me. They can't see me. I have my picture up. Okay, I'm just going to stay here in the shadows. Ooh, but that was a really good training. I can't wait till the next one. What are you, a professional? What the hell are we doing here? I'm sorry. Maybe I just have a low level of comprehension. And I like to think I'm pretty intelligent. So I want to lay it. I mean, it's Friday. I'm excited. I know what I'm doing. I know what Ms. Thomas is doing. I guess my lesson I would give to you is really staying in a state of gratitude before I open it up, if you have any really good questions for us. But it's really a matter of, in gratitude, what I mean by that is learning how to pay it forward to make sure that the universe pays you. Learning how to pay it forward so you make the universe pay you. You know, I mean, little things. You can go through a drive-through window and know that if there's one person behind you, it's like, you know what? I just want to leave $10 for the person behind me. It's like, I want to pay for whatever they're paying for. I don't know what they're ordering. If it's over $10, I'm good. But just here's $10. Or, you know, it's like, I want to pay for their coffee behind me. Or to just be able to make 5 calls a day and be able to say, hey, you know what? I was just thinking about you. I don't want anything. I don't need anything from you. I just haven't talked to you in this COVID time. A lot of things have happened and you have a hit list. Every one of you have at least 100 to 200, because I'm sharing with you what I'm doing right now to get on the court to reconnect with people. Because a lot of people are like, well, what do I say when I call them? How about hello? Hi. Hi. And then just hang up. If you don't have shit else to say, just hang up. But I mean, at least start with just, it's called a contact sport. You'd be amazed how far just leaving someone a message that you haven't talked to in 6 months to say, I miss you. I haven't seen your face. I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you're doing, but you've been on my heart. And I just wanted to tell you, I miss you. As a brother, I miss you. As a sister, as a cousin, as a friend. Can't wait till this shit is over. I just miss you. You have no idea what kind of credit line that builds for everybody that's in your database. The follow-up on that is they're going to call you back or text you back unless they're going through something. Somebody's going to call you back and tell you somebody died. Somebody's going to call you back and say, I just had the best day of my life. Somebody's going to call you back and say, I just had a baby. Somebody's going to call you back and say, I just got involved with this project and I'm making a lot of money. Somebody's going to call you back and say, man, I've just been still and it's so good to just hear your voice. But the whole thing is to make contact. That's our whole business. That's all we do is make contact. And if you're making a minimum of 5, you don't have to make it a job, 5 contacts a day, 25 a week, 100 in a month. And you're going to have somebody call you back and be like, I just need you. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my finance. I don't know what's going on in my life. I don't know what's going on with my job. I'm waiting for this $1.9 trillion to drop because I need my PPP money and they holding it up in the government. I just lost a job. I'm working 2 jobs. Thank you for even caring. Out of 100 people, I could promise you 20, 30 of them going to call back. And what are you? The blessing and the solution. What business makes the most money on the planet Earth? The one that has the most solutions to people's problems. Every person that's ever created something, invented something, they were solving a problem. I look at Amazon. It literally has taken out Alibaba. It literally has taken out everything in retail. You look at Uber. It's taken everything out in taxis. You look at Airbnb, it's taken out everything in the complexities of trying to find a hotel that's available, and you can find one anywhere on the planet Earth. I mean, you look at the fiat of dollars and cents right now. Warren Buffett was just talking about, he said, since the time I've been alive, the dollar is worth 6% of when I was a child. So why do you see this bull rush with crypto and all that? It's solving a problem. Everything in business is about solving a problem. So here's the question. Whose problems and what problems are you solving? Because everybody you know is going through financial straits. Everybody you know is going through job security. Everybody you know is going through transition. Everybody you know is going through isolation. Everybody you know is going through being completely angst about just what's the next move. And guess what? You have the most perfect gift to offer somebody. Look, in my conversation is not, I'm so excited about our opportunity, but I don't bring that to the forefront. When I'm having a conversation with someone, look, I'm excited about what I'm doing. I don't know if it's for you. You can ask Wham Maya. They're the last team that I sponsor. I said, I don't know if what I'm doing. I got 4 things on my table. Pick one. It's almost like I had cups and a pebble underneath each of the cups. And I moved them around. I told them what was under each cup. And I said, pick a cup. They said, that cup, residual income. I said, and I was shocked. I gave them 4 cups. Normally it's like most of y'all just get 1 cup. I gave 4. They're like, that one right there. You gonna train us personally? You gonna develop us? You gonna be our mentor? Hell yeah, we all in. And it's like, I lead with that. It's like, and you got to write this down. It's really called relaxed intensity. Some of you guys are way too intense. Almost like desperate. It's like they can smell desperation on you. It's like, oh hell no, y'all. Nope. You whatever you're doing, you have a good time with that. It's just you. I'm good. I can smell you from over here. It's like, no. Relax and tense. You got to act as if you already have it. You have to already have arrived mentally, spiritually. That's what the time that you aren't having success is the time you should be working harder on yourself. You should be reading. You should be developing yourself. You should be learning a language. You should be taking yourself to the next level. You should be figuring out what you're going to do with your money. You should be having your vision board. You should know exactly where you're going to put stuff. You should already know. My goal of what I'm doing for this quarter by March 31st, I look at it every day. Just like Mr. Al Thomas said, the place I'm moving into, I look at it every day. He's got specs, he got information. See, when you know you want something, you'll go and work for something. But you got to be very clear on what it is you want. See, that won't change. That's the stable, that really is the core. That's the fixation. Am I making sense? Is anybody understanding that? That's the fixation. If you want something, Now, don't say you want something that's 3, 4, 5 years from now, or, you know, you've been single for the last 10 years and you want a husband. That's just stupid. What I'm saying is, okay, what I'm saying is find something that's within reach. Like you're engaged and you want to be married, or, you know, you have a boyfriend and you want to get engaged. It's within reach. So it's like if it's a car that you need, if it's a house that you need, if it's a new bookshelf that you need, if it's your bill, like I talked about last week, is it a bill that you want to go away for the year, or, you know, a car note that you want your car note paid off? It has to be within reach, and that will be what I call your stable core. In the stable core, it never changes. The fixation never changes. The emotions of the business will change. You'll be high one day, you'll be low the next day. That comes with the territory. Somebody's going to get in and blow up, and somebody's going to quit the next day. It comes with the territory. Someone's going to go get a whole bunch of customers, and you think they're going to bring a whole lot of people, and they bring nobody. Somebody's going to bring a whole lot of people, and they didn't even freaking go and get qualified. It comes with the territory. So the emotional side that comes with the business, that's going to change from day to day based on how you manage your emotions and how you develop yourself. There's going to be days in which you don't think you can do this. There's going to be days in which doubt just drips all over you. There's going to be days in which you're like, is this for me? It's maybe I read it wrong. It's going to be the devil's going to show up in a whole lot of different forms. It may show up in the form of your mother, your sister, your best friend, a bunch of people that never looked at your business. And you just like, what? Maybe it's just me. And then you have all these other conversations about yourself. But see, the fixation of what you want never changes. Having a great relationship never changes. Taking care of your family never changes. Your bills going away never changes. That mortgage you got to pay never changes. That new dress, whatever it is, helping kids, feeding people, starting a homeless shelter, whatever that is, that drives you, that takes your breath away. See, that's what I look for every time I wake up. I walked into my office, 2 people downstairs, and I hadn't seen one brother. It was like I hadn't seen him for about at least a month and a half. He's like, how you doing? I said, man, I'm freaking awesome. I'm getting up here. I got to get on my car. It was just awesome. And the girl is sitting in the car next to him. She's in the office. I see her probably 3 times a week. She's like, he is always awesome. And I wanted to stop. I was like, they walk into a peak. They like peak themselves. And I mean, I've been around them for the past 5 years. And it's not like I didn't talk to him before. It's just it's kind of like why I moved in the neighborhood I live in. Is because I don't want my business in my house. I moved to an exclusive area so nobody can find me. I don't want my business knocking on my door the next day. Now, I did that in my first 5. I had to do that first to be able to afford to live in a neighborhood where my next door neighbor had horses. And to get to the next house is another couple of, your block is another mile. I mean, you got to put yourself in a position. Is anybody understanding this conversation? Right? But I mean, you're sitting around people. I know Al Thomas knows this conversation. I know Artie Napolitano knows this conversation. There's certain people that I know. Mike Basutti knows this conversation. That's why he lives in the middle of Wyoming somewhere with a whole bunch of steers and queers and whatever, just out there shooting rabbits and whatnot. I don't know, raccoon. I don't know what the hell Mike Basutti's doing. That boy he grew up on a volleyball beach, like a volleyball beach, and now he looks like he's like walking out of caves.
Mountain man.
Mountain man. But that's what this life can afford you to be. He don't want to be bothered. He's got acres of land, a creek, a stream on his land. He's got livestock. He's just living his life. So you got to have your fixation. I hope you guys are getting that. What is your fixation for February? What are your goals for this month? I mean, you're looking at 16 days left in the month. You got a whole month. Now, I don't know who I'm talking to, but you obviously haven't done anything in the first half of this month. So why don't you do more in the last half of this month than most people do in the last 2 months and get paid? Now, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I don't know. Did you get a check last week? Don't raise your hand. Did you get somebody else a check last week? No, don't raise your hand. Did you just think about the business and you've been on every training call and you got your team on your call, or you can't find your team no more? You know why you can't find your team? Because you can't find you. But that's okay. It's all right. It's like, well, I had a team. They I don't know where they are. Really? So why don't we take this last half of the month and actually work? What a concept instead of thinking. Why don't we stop thinking and actually go to work? What do I share all the time? You can work this business an hour. I mean, if you're aggressive, 2 hours a day. If you got a whole lot going on, an hour a day. That's not multitasking. An hour a day. It's funny. So people get excited about things and it consumes their whole life and they move over here. And then something else takes over and it's bad and it moves them over here. And then another opportunity comes on and moves them over here. And then something else happens and they move over here. It's like they don't know how to stay focused for a long period of time. And it's not a matter of multitasking or doing a whole bunch of things, because did you take a crap today or are you going to? Is that considered multitasking? Are you going to eat today? Is that considered multitasking? See, certain things are a necessity and certain things are excess. And you need to make the distinction between the two. What is the necessity? So I prioritize everything. I have 7 lanes. And each of them get their time. My spiritual lane gets its time. My physical lane gets its time. My mental feeding gets its time. My child, he gets his time. I'm setting up his business corporation today. He's got 2 accounts going on. I got content, gaming engineers making his game. My son gets his time. Before I came in here, I ran and made sure that my mom was fed. And she was just happy that I brought her favorite coffee and some breakfast. My mama gets her time. Everybody that I love, including myself, loving on myself, gets his time. I got my private consulting in which I got to send out an invoice and get my money, in which has thousands of dollars for speaking for 20 minutes. It gets its time. My ACN, it gets its time. It's not like a swing shelter each day. Whoa, I'm over here. Whoa, I'm over here. Everything has its time. And each one is potent. They're all maxed. I don't do anything half-assed. Each lane I'm in, as far as my life and my business, gets 100% during the time I allocate it to doing it. It doesn't get 50% because I'm doing 50 things. It gets 100% with 5 things. So you got to ask yourself, what have you done in the last 12 days that has been really effective, that's gotten 100% of you? 110% of you. Not 110% of your time. People are missing that because you got so much going on. Everything's getting 5% of you. That's messed up. Why would you cheat yourself? Why would you cheat your own life like that? And where are you spending your time? Not where you're investing your time. What conversations, what people, who are you giving energy to? Literally last 48 hours, there's 5 people I can count on one hand that I had to curse out. It's like, if you bring that thought and that conversation in my space one more time, we will never talk again in life. And it's not even personal. I will love you and call you in 3 years and you can get on the yacht. Right now, that has nothing to do with me getting a customer, getting a client, getting some equity, acquiring finances. It has nothing to do with being able to build and change your life or my life. And that's the way I look at everything right now. It's really kind of, you may think it's hard, but my power of focus is I really have to, because you got to pay attention to the people that you talk to, even in text messages or phone calls. Literally, I'm talking to my girl. I'm like looking at her. I'm like, what the hell? It's like, you're messed up because you allowed that boundary to cross. You let these people come in. I'm coaching her on this person was pissed off about a business from years ago and called her about this business and said, is telling her she's gonna get voodoo on her, calling her father, getting these text messages, all this crazy stuff. First of all, I've been through the spiritual world and through the darkness. I don't even want to go down that lane. But the thing about it is, you let it in. You entertain the conversation. Is anybody understanding this? Anybody getting this? You exchange the text messages. You let somebody take capacity in your space and in your head. You let somebody hold your space in your head hostage, and you didn't charge them rent. meaning that thought did not make you any money. I'm not giving energy. Now, I will give energy to that which will protect me. I had a conversation with Fat Dan about that. So long as I'm protected, but I let go quickly. I don't keep talking about it. I'm gonna make sure that my wall is protected. My life is protected. My life force is protected. My spirit is protected. That's that. But it doesn't take that much. Is anybody really? Are you guys understanding this conversation? Pay attention to what you get. If you have more than like 3 hiccups in a month of having to just deal with problems and people and problems, PMP, then the common denominator is you. If you have to deal with a problem and people more than 3 times in a month, you have to look, that gives me a ratio. And the ratio then gives me a common denominator. And the common denominator is the person in the mirror. Now, crap's going to happen. One person or one thing can happen in a month, but it shouldn't happen again for another 3-6 months. I mean, life's going to happen. But if you're dealing with stuff every day or every week, you're the problem. You need to really figure out how to detox your brain and your spirit and get new downloads. And that's what these calls are about. It's about new downloads. It's all the things I'm saying in no particular format is to trigger something that's going to truly kickstart your PMA. That's going to truly kickstart, I see you, Jen, that's going to kickstart your PMA. I know, don't worry, I'm going to share with you because that means we need to do more self-development. Positive mental attitude. That's what PMA is. That everything and everyone that comes into my space, I don't mind the challenges. I don't mind overcoming obstacles. I don't mind coming up with solutions, but we aren't going to have a conversation about a pity or a victimization or something that's negative or a stew of vomit of just bullshit. That's not going to happen. With no end in mind, no solution in mind, no, let's attack this. It's like, you know, I call Al, I don't call Al to vomit. I'm calling for Al for a solution. I'm not calling Jocelyn for a problem. I'm calling her for a solution. I'm not calling Julie, I need a solution. I'm not calling Renata, I need a solution. I'm not calling just to have an emotional conversation. I'm not leaving you a voice message or texting you and calling you and taking up your time just to have a josting match of emotional wits and how I feel. Let me tell you something about business. Nobody gives a damn about how you feel. Nobody cares about how you feel. Well, I just wanted to tell you how I felt. Like, nobody cares about how you feel. You know when a person cares how you feel? When they can tell that you care about them through your actions. When you are provoking and you're stimulating an emotion through making somebody feel a certain way based on how you serve, how you produce, and what shows up on the charts and what shows up in your bank account. How you serve, how you produce, what shows up on the charts, and what's in your bank account. Because your bank account is in direct proportion to how you served. And if you're serving, you're going to produce the only thing that you should be looking for on a daily, on an hourly, on a second-by-second basis. The only thing you should be looking for every minute of the day in everything that you do is called results. Good or bad, results are the only thing you should be talking about. Call me and tell me your results. Don't call me and tell me what you're blocked with. I failed 28 times. Those were my results, and I'm so excited because I got to be one away from figuring out what the hell I'm doing wrong. What are we talking about? Come on, let's talk. I am so excited about freaking up 28 times today. I could get excited about that conversation. I actually would get excited about it. I wish somebody would call me and say, I messed up 28 times. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. And the attitude is I'm so excited because I know if I do another 28, if I get it right just once, I'm going to figure out how to do it right. Not, I failed 28 times or 10 times. I've called some people. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I need you. Are you serious? So the floor is yours. Anybody have any questions? Want to know how to fix something, help you, overcome, shift, change? There's no bad questions. Please interact. You have a whole lot of leaders on here. What I can't answer, I'm sure one of them can, especially Mr. Al Thomas and other leaders.
Mr. Nelson?
Oh, wait, allow them, Jebry, to unmute because Sway and them was saying we can't unmute. Yes, you were saying something, Mr. Thomas? Was that you?
This is Mr. Lewis. I do have a question.
Oh, please.
And this is something maybe you can explain for the group. We had a call yesterday with Mr. Chirali and talking about people getting into the motions of doing things. One of the things I found is a lot of people are afraid of going all out and then failing. So they don't do anything because they can have at least the excuse of, well, I'm not doing anything. So therefore, it's not that it's not working. They're afraid of what it looks like to not win if they give it their best. What do you say to someone like that, or how do you help them to change their perspective if they need to?
So role play with me. Let's have that conversation. So,
all right. So, Mr. Nelson, I'm just taking my time at this, and I'm pacing myself. I've heard that you need speed, but for me, I just move slower. That's just the way I do things.
You know what? I totally understand. I used to feel the same way, and I found out that moving slow meant that I wasn't moving at all. And so I've been looking at and charting your progress, and I don't think you're moving so slow nobody can even see you. Are you even how far back are you? Because the one thing that I've learned, and I'm not being cynical, but did you get into this business to change your life? Answer that question first.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you need to make some money?
Yes.
Okay, so I need you to remember this one phrase always. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you're bringing everything you did the way you did anything before you came in here, you're going to get the same result, which is going to keep you broke. It has nothing to do with the vehicle. So my question that I'm going to ask you is, do you want to shift? Do you want to change? Do you want to become better? Or do you want to do it the way you've done everything your whole life? Because if you want to do it the way you've been doing everything your whole life, we don't even need to have another conversation. I'm going to see you whenever I see you. God bless you. And I want to see you succeed. Now, if you want coaching and you want to know how to shift and you want to change, that's a different conversation. I need you to give me permission to put my foot in your ass and tell you what you need to do. If you don't want to hear that conversation, then continue on your pace.
Got it.
And I get that. A lot of people are saying, but why are you here?
Right.
What pace? And I what he just said, I hear all the time. I do hear it all the time. I just got a lot going on. And then why the hell did you get in? I got in so I don't have a whole lot going on. I had a lot going on. I got in so I can get rid of stuff so I don't have to have a lot going on, so I can do what I want, how I want, with who I want, with no financial or time constraints. And what you're telling me is you have time constraints and financial constraints. And I'm trying to figure out if you're committed to staying there or changing. Now, if you want change, we have a community, we have a house, and I'm dad. And if you want to live in this house that will change your income bracket and your address, you will do as I say. Because I can only win if everybody in this house wins. Now, if you don't want to live in this house and you want to stay in the apartments in Drudgery Street, then you're committed to, that's okay. Just know I'm not coming to visit you on Skid Row, and I'm not taking none of my family and friends down there to visit you when I gave you an option to live in my house to teach you how to own your own. That's what this is. Thank you. Sway and Maya?
That was amazing. This training is everything that I personally needed. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I apologize for the voice memo you got the other day of my emotions.
You're entitled. I personally sponsored you. You get a window of time, so you're fine.
So this week I contacted my partners list, and I have a couple people who have contacted me back. I sent them the video. They're still on board. They have questions now, and we have calls set up today to answer those questions. I guess my question is,
what's my next step? Yeah, your next step is at about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm working out. 2:30, you and I need to have a strategy session. It's way overdue. So send Wendy a message, send me a message, and make sure at 2:30 I'll make time and we'll have a strategy session. And that's for every one of you. If you have a direct upline, or you have access and you can reach someone like Jebri, or if you can reach somebody like Julian, if you can reach somebody like Al Thomas, obviously I personally sponsor Sway and Maya. So it has nothing to do with SVP and their position. They get that window of time, and you have to truly give people space to grow. It has nothing to do with time. I can be very hard and I can throw you out there to swim because I've invested a lot of time in them to become who they need to become, so that when I do put my foot down, they can take it. I wouldn't sponsor anybody. Everyone that I work with directly knows when I bite very hard, but I need to know you're battle tested to be able to do that, whether you're down in my organization or someone I'm personally sponsored, but if you're a project of mine. So in that case scenario, for each person on here as a leader, you need to give space and not be so. I see this happen all the time. Sometimes you kill your kids in the business because you're so, now I'm talking about not the passive, not the soft, not the empathetic, but some of you guys are so strong and so far over here that when you're at ETL and you're RD, and I've even seen RVPs do it, that you're so like, this is the way it is, and you're killing your young. They're like, I don't know, I didn't, because you're so tunnel vision, so hungry to get where you want to go that you forget what it was like to be when you first started. And the key to leadership, first and foremost, is empathy and understanding where a person is to know how to serve them at the highest level. You can't lead them if you don't know where they are. You can't support them if you don't take time to understand what they're going through. Now, I didn't say babysit. I didn't say coddle. Like you see, you can hear my voice here and you can see she apologized for a message. The message was really okay, but she's clear that that's not going to be an ongoing process. She never leaves a whole lot. She's naturally emotionally, plus she's pregnant, but all that being said, it's like you give the space for certain people because I went at the emotion. I chose her because of her passion, because of her commitment, because of the fire that's in her. So it's just, you want to make it work for you, not against you. And especially in dealing with your new people that are coming on board. Is that making sense? Are you guys following me on that so far? It goes back to the old cliche, care about people don't care what you know unless they know that you care. People don't care about what you know unless they know that you care. People don't care what you know unless they know that you care. If you care, then in turn, you can run your house the way I'm running my house, with a very stern, powerful conversation, and non-negotiable would be the conversation. You can't be non-negotiable if you aren't caring. You might want to write that down and remember that. You cannot be non-negotiable if you aren't caring first. I see people all the time that are non-negotiable that, there's some people on here, Sherion's like that. Some people really get high off of the alpha in me. And what I need each of you to also get in that alpha in me is I care first. I've dealt with Alicia in this. I've dealt with Fatney in this. I've dealt with Neha in this. I will get text messages after text messages. She knows when she needs me what to say for me to respond. Until then, just keep it. It never falls on deaf ears, but I'm not going to keep. Sometimes they need, because I personally sponsor Neha. So you're entitled to leave me as many text messages you want. Fatney does. She may leave me 15. She knows I'm not reading them. I'm not going to respond until I need to respond. Most of the time, my kids are having a conversation with themselves with me, and they just need to get it out of their system. I've been able to identify those people that do it. Then some are just mentally disrupted, and those I cut off. but the ones that plug into the call, because it's a relationship. Does everybody understand that? You're growing to know people. So I understand that I don't want Neha talking to anybody else. I don't want Fatney talking to anybody else. I don't want, Maya talking to anybody else. I want them to be able to pour in because I can take it. They know if I don't respond, doesn't mean that I'm not paying attention. Alicia knows if I don't respond, I'm not paying attention. And they know how to call or text rather, or get in touch with me when they need to have a conversation. But what I'm sharing with you guys as leaders is you got to learn how to create a space. I call it a safe space for your leaders to keep them in the loop. Right? Is everybody understanding that? Are you guys following me on that? I mean, it just, I can use everybody on here. Judith is an example. There's so many people that just use, here's your safe space. Here's all your texts. Fatney left, I think, 7 yesterday. And she knew I wasn't going to respond until I saw where she needed a solution. Now I'm going to respond. Here's your solution. Until then, I'm too busy. I don't have time I don't have time to be having conversations of what's inside your head. You got to grow out of that. But at the same time, I don't discard them. I don't make them feel unworthy or like I'm not paying attention or I'm not there. They know I'm paying attention because they know if it irritates me, I'm going to say something else. But most of the time, I'll just let them text because I know they need to get it out of their system. You can't go talk to your cousin who don't want to do the business, or your negative nanny over here who's sitting up there all negative, or the people that you're trying to prospect. Who else do you talk to besides God and having a friend and a leader? But understand, I'm a leader first before I'm your friend. I'm a mentor first before I'm your friend. Every now and then, I understand where the friend needs to come in, and I'll be there always. But we got things to do, and there's too many people. They're going to be counting on you, as so many people count on Mr. Al Thomas and myself and so many other leaders here. So just imagine if you got 4 texts a day with 4 of your leaders, just how long that dialogue could take with you answering 4 people consistently in 4 conversations. And you're already in the business. The hell? My phone goes, I have to turn my phone off most of the time. The ringer's never on. Most of the time I miss them. People are like, well, I saw you were online. No, all my computers stay on. It always looks like I'm online. And all my leaders know that. It's like, oh, he probably just didn't get the message. Yes, my phone's on. I got 3 phones. I got 3 computers. I work around the clock. And if I left all the chimes come on, I'd be in a straitjacket. So it's like ching, 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 and just like, so beautiful. Thank you. Who was next? Jeffrey, you said somebody was next. Alicia, go ahead, baby.
Okay, so when I really appreciated that relaxed intensity, I think I moved into that phase without having a title to it. So now being able to identify it, I can like really root myself in that. And my question, however, is I've been having those contact conversations. There's sometimes where obviously you're not able to get a customer because whatever the reason is it appropriate to ask for a referral, even if they haven't been able to try the service or if they're not taking advantage of the opportunity? And how would you go about that? Like asking for a referral without.
So let's role play. So you actually you've seen the business, you're not interested in the business, and you haven't taken advantage of a customer, right?
I can't, because in my area, you guys don't serve.
Got it. And you are who to me? A friend, associate, or family?
Associate.
Excellent. So thank you, Alicia, for, you know what? And I mean, you can send this in a text, or what's even better is, I usually keep them around here. I got them over there, way over here. You guys know me and my cartoons. So it's like my Snoopy over there. I keep Snoopy with me. I think this is the most effective way to be able to because again, people don't get mail anymore. So to handwrite a card to somebody, and here's what I'm gonna teach you, because this is gonna be another system I'm gonna teach this week, probably on Monday's call, either that or next Friday. No matter what you do, it should always be 3 points of contact. You should always have a 3-point contact. That way, like I was coaching somebody just 2 days ago. They were like, well, I sent out an email and nobody responded, and I poured my heart into it. For what you're talking about, they were like, we put this on social. I was like, I'm gonna put this on social media. Here's my point. Would you invite somebody to your wedding through Facebook? Would you, announce to the people most important to you on Instagram about your baby? You didn't see that I'm having a baby. I put it on Instagram. You see what I'm saying? So no matter how you do business, it should always be 3 points of contact. And the social media should be the last piece of the onion, or the last tier of the onion, to be able to reach people. Not that it's not a great medium. It should be the last piece. This is called relationship marketing. So our business is about developing powerful relationships, which means I need to do something that nobody else is doing that's going to make me stand out. That's what makes me outstanding. So like, for example, my latest fetish of these shirts, like Wimpy right here, or what I had on yesterday, which was all of Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Everywhere I go, when I put on the Fat Albert, every day, I just got this new fetish. I don't go a day of stepping out of my office or my house without getting a minimum of 7 compliments in my shirt. Yesterday, I had old women like, oh, I have it in white. I was like, wow. I mean, it's just, and it's something that just, it's for me. It works for me. Maybe not. I got a sweatshirt. You guys, for those that are old enough to remember the peachy folders, they're old peachy folders. They're yellow, and they had, of course, and they had the answers. You used to cheat out of them when you were in 2nd and 3rd grade. So I got a sweatshirt. It has all peachy folder on the front and back. And I'm telling you, people were aging. I walked in and took my mom to her doctor's appointment. Everybody from the ages of literally from 50 down to 20 were just like, ooh, peachy folder. I had a guy stop in the middle of a skateboard run and just fell off his skateboard and said, peachy folder. I mean, so it's like, why I'm saying this is, everybody can relate to something. So for me to handwrite a card with my Snoopy on it and tell somebody and say, hey, Alicia, I know you didn't see the opportunity, and I know you weren't able to become a customer. I need to tell you from my heart how much that meant to me, that you took the time to be able to look at both. And I wrote this because it meant that much to me that I didn't want to send you a text or an email or just leave you a voice print. I needed to let you know how much that really meant to me. And I'm really using this business to be able to shift and change my life and build a future for me, my husband, and my child coming. It would mean the world to me if you could give me 3 minutes over the next 5 days and let me know that you, 1, received this card from me, and 2, if you would give me 3 referrals of people who could potentially support my business, either as a customer or a potential business partner, if you would do that for me. Now, if somebody personally hand wrote a letter, a card, not a letter, just a card to me, I keep them. I meet somebody, the first thing I do, I write them a card and a letter, and I get their address. It's non-threatening. I just met you. I know you text me. Could you send me back an address that I can send you something, even a P.O. box? Just that personal touch in itself makes me stand out, makes me being you being me outstanding. And for future customers, and when they see something, it may not even be right now. They may be like, you know what, that was really powerful. Sure, maybe they'll get back with you. Maybe they won't. You know what happens? The universe conspires for your success. It could be 3 months later, somebody's moving. They'll be like, I need you to call Alicia. You planted a seed. It will grow. Sow your seeds. Water your seeds. Everybody's texting. Everybody's calling. Everybody's asking. But to do something that's just a little bit, and then to follow up and text, man, I would wait 7-10 days based on snail mail. If it's local, they should get it immediately. If it's it's somewhere else, globally, it may take a minute. But give them 7-10 days and put yourself a reminder in your phone. What if you did 3 a day? What if you contacted 5 people a day, like I've been talking about, sent out 3 a day of these cards and put reminders on your interval days? So let's say you worked 4 days a week. So you were actually making contact 4 days a week, and you followed up 3 days a week. It's only an hour to an hour and a half a day at maximum. It's a hell of a schedule. and you put a reminder on every phone. I mean, even on mine, I know it has a reminder thing on it. It comes with it these days. Everybody has one, not just an alarm clock. It has an app in it called Reminder. And you put a reminder on your phone 10 days from now, oh, I need to contact Alicia and see if she got my car. That's it. And you shot a text after that. And between those two, you're going to have another conversation. That's 3 points. Now you're sowing seed. Now you got a whole bunch of seeds going on. Now your farm is coming together. All of a sudden, you're getting more business and more conversations and more appointments than you know what to do with. And you want that problem of being overwhelmed with not having enough space and time. Somebody's on what are they doing on my roof? So anyway, does that help? Are you following me, Alicia? Is that
100%. Thank you.
okay? Definitely. Excellent. We're right at 10:06. I'm going to take one more question and we are going to be complete for the day. I'll see you guys at happy hour. I want to know that this is helping people. Is this helping anybody besides me? I'm seeing more faces. When we get on at 6, when we get on any calls, I don't care if it's mine, Greg's, Al Thomas's, Jocelyn's, stop putting up your picture and get on. Get on the call. Yes, Magali, get on the call. You guys have pretty faces. They're better than the pictures. I don't like airbrush pictures anyway. I want to see the real you. You want to see the real me. I'm not going to talk to your prospects through a picture. I mean, we might as well just get on the phone and do a 3-way. What the hell do we have technology for if we cannot touch, feel, smell, taste? If any of our senses, at least our sights, we have to engage more than 2 senses to really engage the heart. Did that make sense? Are you guys following me on that so far? You have 5 senses. You need to, well, you got the 6th sense if you use your third eye and know God, but you got 5 senses. You need to engage at least 2 of them, auditory and visual, to be able to reach somebody and know that you're talking and that you're present. Give what you want. If you want people to be present to you, then you become present. It's real simple. Mama always said that. Treat people the way you want to be treated. It's a simple cliche. I come on live because I want to be treated the same way. I want to see you live. It's an hour a day when you come on. Doesn't take that much. You ain't even got to go home. You could actually do the, the okie doke of the Zoom now. You ain't got to have nothing on from the waist down. You would never know. Well, don't get up. But you understand what I'm saying. Put on whatever you want from the top up. You ain't even got to go to the bathroom, get all fixed up and walk out the house and put on some uncomfortable shoes. You can be just sitting there from the waist up. I do it all the time. My family knows me. I will throw on a sweater, some glasses, a hat, my jewelry. And by the time it's over, I rip all that off and I'm just put on the robe. I'm done. I'm good. But at least just make it personal. One more question. Anybody got any other questions? Or are we good? Can I hear that it helped anybody? Did it help anybody? Because you guys look like, y'all, you here with me?
Everybody, let's show Mr. Nelson some love, y'all. Come on, put in the chat. Come on, give him some love. Come on. Put in the chat. My God, I love it. I'm going to highlight this real quick. Relax intensity. Number 2 point that I got. What are your goals for the rest of the month? Half the month is gone. What are you doing? What's your goals? Number 3 point. Did you get a check last week? Let me say that again. Did you get a check last week? All right, I'm going to say this. What about the week before? Let me be quiet. Number 4, did you need a new download of PMA? A new what? Download. Number 5 point. Every minute of the day you should be looking for is results. Results. Why you get on this call? To get results. Why do you go to church? To get results. Anything should be profit, and everything you do is profit. Results. Number 6 thing I got. You need 3 points of contact. I love the idea of the cards. And number 7, notice what he's talking about. His t-shirt, listen up, write this down. His t-shirt is a conversation piece. My God, I love it. His t-shirt is a conversation piece. What are you wearing that people's going to say, oh, I like that, and come to you and ask you about it? His t-shirts are conversation piece. That was powerful. I don't know if y'all got that or not. Number 8 point, you got to sow some seeds. And then you got to water them. You got to what? Water them. Water the seeds. Come on, that's how they grow. And the 9th point I got, give what you want. Wow. His mama said that. It'll show up in the, come on. You want love, give love. You want money, give it away. But you guys got to give it. How many of you been out there talking to people about the opportunity? Keep talking. It's going to come back in big time, the multitudes that overtake you. But you got to put it out to get it back. You got to put it out to get it back. We have not because we ask not. Not only that, because you haven't put the work in. Think about it. You haven't put the work in. You got to put the work in. So I want to thank Mr. Nelson tonight. He's going to have back.